Parents of prisoners, what's the worst thing that happened to your child in there? I got a call from the juvenile detention center that my son's skull had been fractured by his cellmate over a gang dispute that escalated. I got in my car and rushed to the hospital, where I found out my son was bleeding from his brain, and the nurses told me to prepare for the worst. I sat in that waiting room with two things on my mind: would my son live, and that the guards had to be lying. Neither my son nor his cellmate had gang ties. When I got the news my son would live, I was the happiest dad on earth. But there was a problem. An area of his brain responsible for speech had been damaged, meaning he couldn't talk. He couldn't tell me I love you, and couldn't tell me what actually happened. What's even worse is what the doctor told me after pulling me aside. The injuries weren't only on my son's head, he had internal injuries around his nether regions too. Week-old trauma that had nothing to do with any fight. The next morning I went to the detention center. Officer Bryant, who'd called me about the fight, was at the front desk. "How's Caleb?" he asked me. "He can't speak anymore," I responded before asking, "Jason really did that much damage?" "Fights get brutal here." I knew I had him when he said that. Jason's mom told me he's been in the lockdown unit since Sunday. She showed me the paperwork, I said. Bryant's face changed completely. He stood up, knocking papers off his desk. She must be confused. That's when Jason's mother, who I'd coordinated with, signed in loudly, "Here to see Jason Mitchell in lockdown unit B." Bryant went pale. He'd been caught lying right there. He dismissed me immediately after, and that night while I was at the hospital, an unknown number called me. A woman whispered, "I heard about your boy. Listen, I work at the facility. Tuesday nights, certain boys get taken to the counseling room instead of going to bed. Your son was one of those kids." My hands were shaking. The injury happened Tuesday night. I thanked the woman and hung up. I confronted the warden the next day. "My son got hurt on a Tuesday. I got told he gets taken to counseling on Tuesday. What happens in that room?" Warden Sparks pulled out a file. "Your son's medical intake shows pre-existing conditions." I grabbed the paper. The intake form was dated 6 weeks ago, but I could smell the fresh ink. The signature wasn't mine. They were forging documents. "You're covering up sexual assault. That's a serious accusation. Be careful, Mr. Williams. Defamation of correctional staff is a crime." In the parking lot, a woman approached me. "They got your boy too?" She showed me her phone. "My nephew Timothy. Same brain injury 3 months ago. My sister's boy Dante, 6 months ago. I've been tracking it. 17 boys in 2 years. All Tuesday night incidents. All lost their ability to speak. 17, all the same injury pattern. Targeted trauma to the speech center. It's deliberate. They're silencing witnesses." She showed me another message. "Timothy saved this before he died. It's from a boy inside. Says there are cameras in the counseling room. Hidden ones. The warden keeps recordings. We need police. Deputy Chief Henderson's brother is Officer Henderson, one of the Tuesday night guards. The other is Cole, whose uncle runs internal affairs." I drove straight to the police station anyway. The desk sergeant cut me off when I mentioned the officers' names. "Filing false reports against law enforcement is a felony. Deputy Chief Henderson is a good man. His brother is decorated. Continue these lies and you'll be in a cell next to your son." I left shaking. They weren't going to help. They were protecting each other. That night I called my brother Deshaun and cousin James. Both had done time. "They're raping kids and destroying their speech center so they can't testify," I told them. "My boy from inside has a cousin in maintenance there," Deshaun said. Tuesday night, Bryant works alone. 3 days later, we waited until 11 p.m. The service door was unlocked as promised. We made our way to the counseling room. Through the window, I saw Bryant with a boy bent over the table, maybe 14 years old. Deshaun kicked the door in. Bryant spun around, pants still undone. The kid collapsed, sobbing. James wrapped him in his jacket, carried him out to safety. Bryant reached for his radio, but Deshaun knocked it away and started recording on his phone. "Mr. Williams, this isn't—" I hit him. He went down hard, blood pouring from his nose. "Start talking," Deshaun said, still recording. "About Caleb, about all 17 boys." Bryant was sobbing. "It's not just us. The warden sells the videos. Hidden cameras in here. Judge buys them. State Senator Davies. 50,000 per video. You destroyed their speech centers on purpose. The warden said if they can't talk, they can't testify. Henderson knew how. Targeted trauma to Broca's area. Where are the recordings?" "Warden's office safe, behind his family picture. Combination is 0-7-1-5. Deshaun left with the phone. 20 minutes later, he returned with a hard drive. Hundreds of videos. Everything. I knelt next to Bryant. "Are you ready?" Full story on channel linked below.